Hi everybody, this is Hopkins with Baltimore Heritage, and we're on our fifth of our 5-minute histories videos. And that means we've gone a whole week of posting a new video each day. It seems like forever ago that we started. I want to say thanks again to the camera crew, my daughter Leah, 14 years old and a freshman at City College. But I especially want to say thank you to my colleague Molly, the other 50%, the other half of Baltimore Heritage's staff. On Monday morning of this week, we woke up and neither Molly nor I had any bit of experience with videos. At noon, Governor Hogan had asked us all to stay home. By 2 o'clock on Monday, I had sent Molly a video of me here in my living room in Bolton Hill. And by 4:30, she had downloaded free video editing software. I guess as an aside, you may not be surprised that the budget for this video project is exactly zero. But by 4:30, Molly had figured out this free software, gathered together all of the images and historic photos that you see in these videos, and posted it online. Really extraordinary. Thank you, Molly. I will say one more thing is that this production is going pretty lickety-split. And once I send these videos over to Molly and she does her magic and adds the images to them, they go out the door. So that means that she is the last person and has the final say of what gets in and what gets edited out. So Molly, I'm asking you, please don't edit this thank you out. All right, today we're going to talk a little bit about civil rights history, and we're going to go over to the Union Baptist Church on Druid Hill Avenue in the Upton neighborhood. We could film an entire Ken Burns series on civil rights history in the Upton neighborhood, and we'll definitely come back to that. Maybe not a full Ken Burns series, but we'll definitely come back there later on as we continue through these 5-minute histories. But today we're going to talk about Union Baptist Church and a gentleman named Reverend Harvey Johnson. Union Baptist got started before Johnson's time. He arrived there in 1872. He was born enslaved in Virginia, and after the Civil War got a degree in ministry and came to Baltimore, came to Union Baptist in 1872. He quickly grew the church, which had a congregation of about 200 when he arrived, to over 500, and it became, I believe, the largest predominantly African-American church at the time in the city. He also used his ministerial platform to really advance civil rights both locally and nationally. By 1885, one of the things that he did was found the United Mutual Brotherhood of Liberty. This was a group of several other ministers in the area, and what Johnson did was when he looked out across the city and really across the country, he saw individual voices fighting for human rights, and his brainchild was that we needed to act collectively to really advance human rights, to advance civil rights. And so the Brotherhood of Liberty was an effort that brought together people from across the city, from across the region, and it was one of the first efforts nationally at organizing around civil rights. Later efforts like the Niagara Movement in 1905, remember the Brotherhood of Liberty, that was Harvey Johnson in 1885. So 20 years later, the Niagara Movement, which Johnson was also part of forming with his friend W.E.B. Du Bois, who also lived in Baltimore for a time up near Morgan State University. So when the Niagara Movement formed in 1905, it pulled from the lessons learned from Johnson's Brotherhood of Liberty movement. And in 1909, when the NAACP formed, it too pulled from the lessons learned from Johnson and Union Baptist Church on Druid Hill Avenue in the Upton neighborhood. The Brotherhood of Liberty did a number of really pioneering things. One is, again, remember this is in the 1880s, well before sort of what we commonly think of as civil rights in the 1950s and 60s. But in the 1880s, they were pioneering using legal techniques, using the court system to fight for civil rights. Johnson and the Brotherhood successfully went through the federal court system to get a decision that declared that Negroes, the term used at the time, were not cargo for interstate transportation systems. Before then, steamships and railroads and every form of transportation heavily discriminated against African Americans. And this was one step towards rectifying that. So Union Baptist Church is there on Druid Hill Avenue, going strong today. The current pastor is a gentleman named Reverend Al Hathaway, who I will humbly call a friend and fellow conspirator in trying to help spread the importance of Baltimore's contributions to the nation's civil rights movement. And actually, Reverend Hathaway should be up here speaking. Maybe we'll have to find a way to do a guest lecture at some point in the future. But the church is there. Reverend Hathaway is carrying the torch from Harvey Johnson and the pastors that came before him in a really tremendous way. And a word about the building itself. The building it's a wonderful church. It looks very nice on the outside, but on the inside, it is absolutely magnificent. The windows are by the famous stained glass manufacturer, John Lafarge. And the church on the inside, if you're in there, even on a cloudy day, but especially on a sunny day, is just, it radiates in brilliance. I highly encourage you, when we're all allowed to go move about again, to go pop your head in, say hi to Reverend Hathaway, and just marvel in what a fantastic space that is and what a rich history it has. So I want to say thank you again for tuning in. And I almost forgot one thing we're going to try to do. Governor, the state school system has been shut down now for another month. So at the end of this video, we're going to put a couple questions. If you've got school-age children that you're trying to figure out how to keep occupied, or even if you don't have school-age children, we're going to put a couple questions at the end that we think might be kind of interesting to talk about further, or maybe do a little bit of internet research on. So we'll try to add those to each video to help us all stay engaged. All right, thanks so much, and we'll see you again on Monday.